Welcome to the Verdin Verdict Sports Show. I'm your host, Jacob Verdin. We have another LSU practice highlight video for you. Let's start things off. Kyren Lacy versus PJ Woodland. What better way to get your young DBs experience than put them with the best wide receiver you have? Kyren, of course, winning that rep, but the experience is going to continue to grow. You got Chris Hilton and Sage Ryan right here. Look at Chris getting open, a little shifty, vertical threat. Keep an eye on that one all season long. Here's Landon Ibita going up against Bernard Causey, getting a win. I know some of you were asking about Landon. Well, here he is. You got Trez Green going up against Deshaun Spears. What a monster matchup nightmare Trez is. Of course, this one's overthrown, but at 6'7", you can catch a lot of those passes. You see Ricky throwing right here to Aaron Anderson, getting guarded by Major Burns. Moving on, we got Kyle Parker taking on J.K. Johnson right here. 12 on 12, crime. Couldn't get the ball going. Kylan Billiot gets a little bit of his freshman reps against Toviano. I mean, he didn't do horrible. Toviano's an experienced DB. That one was a little low. It's kind of something that you're going to have to work on. You got Kamorian Pimpton going up here against Austin Alsbury. And KP reels that one in. What a nice catch. That's a big target as well. This tight end room is super talented. Javon Nichols going against Kylan Jackson. I'm going to give Javon his credit right now. He had a flashy practice. I know that he's not getting much opportunities in terms of, wide receiver reps, but he's making the most of what he's getting. You see right here, Jelani Watkins versus Michael Turner. That was almost a turnover. Got Kyren Lacy again on PJ Woodland, really sharpening that iron here. Kyren getting open, getting a quick in and out. Mac Markway going up against, I believe this is Michael as well, number 21. Mac trying to get inside, trying to get safety. Good press right here. No type of separation. Moving in, you got CJ Daniels versus Kylan Jackson. Now look, CJ I think needs to get a lot more credit as well. I think he can be a really big piece of this wide receiver room. At times, he could be the leader, if you ask me. Got Chris Hilton, again, one of another potential wide receiver leaders going up against Jair Brown. And look at the separation on that thing. If that ball was a little bit more on target, that's 6 points. Got Landon Ibita once again going up against Bernard Causey. Look at Landon trying to get some early separation. Gets the catch in. It's a little shorter. He's still, trying to turn upfield, but moving forward, Mason Taylor versus, I believe this is Juwan Johnson. Mason is a unit. I mean, he's a little upset about having to go down to get that catch. He won 6 points as well, but he was really good at finding the ball. Aaron Anderson taking on Major Burns right here. That was a good defense by Major Burns with the straps. I hope he's all right, looking like he's doing good. He got more reps in afterwards, so that's always a good sign. Here's Kyle Parker getting active over to Zy Alexander. We're going to give Zy a pass. He's healing. Once again, you got Kylan Billiot, the freshman, going out, but he's getting guarded by Ashton Stamps. Let's get him some pressure. Let's get him something to compete against. And this one was a little bit overthrown. I think Kylan might have been able to come down with that one with the separation. Here you go, Trez Green once again. Jordan Gilbert taking him on. Trez, he's hard to stop. I mean, once Trez gets going, you're going to have to jump higher than him, and good luck. He's 6'7". He's probably dunking a 12-foot basketball goal. Javon once again taking on, I believe this is Jordan Allen right here. Jordan or Major, but Javon Nichols has been really impressing me. It's one of the more underrated names, one of the more smaller pieces. Here's another one, Jelani Watkins, once again against Wallace Foster, creating nothing but separation, going straight to the sideline, finding that ball, turning upfield. You see Corey Raymond throwing the hands up. What's going on? How does he keep getting open, he's saying. Got Kamorian Pimpton versus Deshaun Spears. Kamorian getting more separation as well. He'll be a big piece of this tight end room. I'm really looking forward to seeing how he grows into this, role that he's getting. Get CJ Daniels versus Kylan Jackson. Once again, CJ showing off that speed, showing off that versatility. The ball's a lot underthrown, but it's good to see them getting, back into that groove, kicking up the notch, if you will. Lastly, we got Chris Hilton versus Zy Alexander. This is an interesting matchup as well because you've got two starters, two really big pieces to both of these rooms. And you see the separation by Chris once again. He finds the ball, he readjusts. He is about as elite gets. I think Chris Hilton is going to have to continue to get his flowers. This year he's going to earn them. And I think, the LSU offense is of course light years ahead of the defense, but that's not saying too much. The wide receiver room is always booming at LSU, and I think that the iron sharpening iron in that DB room is going to be very good. Take a look at the defensive line. Get number 31, Javier Suggs. He's 6'3", 300 pounds. That's a transfer from Grand Valley State. He's going to see a lot of reps. Bo Davis is really liking what he's seen from him so far, and I've liked what I've seen from him so far. He's a big guy. He's a little bit faster. Here you see Tank, Jacoby Guillory getting in there, getting active, getting nasty, getting mean. That's going to be your biggest piece, your jewel in the crown, so to speak, this season. Another player to keep an eye on, Sean Washington, 6'4", 300 pounds. Here you see him right here. Might not have been the best rep, but Bo Davis is fine-tuning his skills, fine-tuning his fundamentals, his form, if you will. He's getting him to redo the rep, do it the right way, make sure that he's in tune. And this is interesting to me because you don't just throw a player like Sean Washington to the side. At that size, 6'4", 300 pounds, you've got to really make sure that you can use him on Saturdays potentially, especially with the depth you have at the defensive line position. It's not like you got a bunch of guys. It's not like you have endless supply as you had in years past. This year, you're definitely going to have to work with what you got, and I think they've got a lot of good pieces, a lot of diamonds in the rough, if you will. You see him kind of fixing it a little bit on this rep, and Bo Davis is going to call him back. Get one more in, big guy. Get one more in. This is a good sign. I mean, if you're a young guy making your name in a college program and a coach is making you go over and over and over, it might feel like he's picking on you, but in reality, he's giving you opportunity. He's giving you a chance to earn your reps, so to speak. I mean, he just going up again and again and again. This is going to be beneficial. Number 88 coming up, Preston Hickey. He's from Oklahoma State. He's a transfer. He's going to be another one of the mainstays alongside Jacoby Guillory. But like I said, number 31 here coming up, Javier Suggs. Pay attention to him because he's going to be a name/number that you're going to have to remember all season long. He'll be getting in the backfield. He'll kind of be one of those breakout defensive stars, so to speak, that we haven't had our attention on for enough time, I would say. This is pretty much his coming out party. And for fall camp, transferring into LSU from a program that Brian Kelly used to coach, which is very cool to see that connection continue to get moved. Look at this rep. I mean, he got in there. He got active. He's ripping. He's moving. He's running. I feel like the defensive pressure here with Bo Davis now, will it grow leaps and bounds? Will it 100% change overnight into week one? Maybe not. But if the pressure gets better, if they get back to that LSU defensive unit strength, then expect that DB room not to have to work as hard. Expect those DBs not to have to stay on those islands as long. That pressure getting to the quarterback will not have him comfortable, will not have him able to just sit on a spot and just pick through potential weak spots. And here, number 56, our guy Chemo, he'll be another mainstay guy just because he's been in the program for about 3 years now. He's got experience, but like I said, Jacoby Guillory, of course, Javier Suggs, Sean Washington, those are my three standouts. And I feel like they're going to kind of get their names called here pretty often. We're going to get used to them, so to speak. But no one's doing it better than number 90 right now. The fifth-year player, Jacoby, and he's been here for a hell of a lot of time. He's been causing a lot of havoc. I think this is his year. This is his big year to break out. He played Madden with us. We got a little interview in with him. We got to pick his brain, learn about his mindset, his goals, and just how he's going to attack this season. And I'd be scared to line up against him. I'm not just saying that because I'm 5'10", you know, friggin' 165 pounds soaking wet. If I was 300 pounds, I'd be pissing down my leg just having to line up against someone like that. So that physicality, that aggression, if you can translate that to the entire room and be a leader and bring everyone up to that level, that standard, that expectation, this defensive line and this defense in general will improve. Speaking of the defense improving, everyone wants to see the DBs. How are the DBs handling things? How are they, gelling into this new scheme? How are they finding, their fit under Coach Raymond, Coach Peoples, Coach Baker? Well, here's Toviano getting some reps in alongside Jordan Gilbert. You've been seeing a lot of pairings all over the place. Ashton Stamps has been getting in. I think he'll be your cornerback 1 going into the season, not just because he's wearing number 1, but because he's been performing pretty well. He's been, hitting the expectations set for him, and I think that he's not really going to be in a jeopardizing situation to lose that role. Here you see Corey Raymond overlooking this drill. They're kind of just looking to get angles and breaks and move into their zones with different type of reads. Corey Raymond's very pleased with how Ashton Stamps has been performing in this drill, and it's more of a simple drill, but it's very, very important to be able to learn how to fill your gaps, how to move in the system, in the scheme as you're expected. Here you see Sage Ryan on the other side of the field. He's been at that other corner spot, which is interesting because we interviewed him and he was talking about moving back to nickel, moving back to that safety spot where he was more comfortable. But They've been putting them in a situation to kind of cross-train, to kind of be a corner, to be a safety, getting them in both positions. What that tells me is they're going to need a little bit more depth, a little bit more experience at the corner position, and that's all right. You got another guy here, J.K. Johnson. He's getting paired with Deshaun Spears, formerly Deshaun McBride. I know we had some confusion on that on the last video in the comments. I wanted to clear that up so everyone understands that number 10 is still Deshaun, and he's still, you know, got high expectations as well. I think he's going to see the field in his young career, and he's going to be able to make an impact as well. He's getting, you know, some tutelage right here, and he's getting, look, I keep mentioning it, is they're not picking you out. They're not picking on you. They're putting you in a position to reach your potential here, and he corrects the rep. He takes the knowledge, he applies it, very next play, he performs and puts on a better, you know, result. That's what they want to see on Saturdays. They want to know that, hey, if I give you some correction, that you're going to be able to constructively take it. You see P.J. Woodland on this side making a break. He is sporting a new number. P.J. Woodland is number 11 now, so remember that. That's another younger name that you're going to see hit the field a good amount of times. And here right now, you've got, I believe, Kylan. No, it's Toviano, excuse me. You got Toviano on this side. He is reinstated, not suspended. He'll be back on the field. That's huge as well. That'll help alleviate some of that, you know, confusion on where these corners are going to fit, on who's going to be playing in what scheme. You know, if Sage Ryan needs to get back to a safety position, you're going to need someone like Toviano on the other side to be able to mirror, to be able to kind of flex into that spot. But I would admit, if you're asking me right now, it's way too early, but I do think Ashton and Sage will be your pairs of corners. This right here, Wallace Foster, the fourth, he's been getting a good bit of attention here. You see Corey Raymond looking over him, trying to make sure he's doing the right thing. He's paired with Jordan Gilbert, another starter. It's all good signs here. The only thing I will say for the DB room is, you know, you're going to have to lead through a guy like Ashton Stamps, who's got a lot of big game experience, who's been on the field, who's been in this spot, because there is experience, there is depth, but it's not what you would want it to be at the SEC level, for being transparent. They're playing a lot of high-powered weapons. You saw at the beginning of the video with the one-on-ones that there was a lot of separation. There was a lot of issues. There was a lot of miscues. Now, LSU's wide receiver room and their quarterback room and, you know, their entire offense as a whole is elite. So it's not saying that you got to clamp every rep, but there was some concerns, I would say. We're still very early. You still got some time. I think that they're going to be able to fit into their scheme. Here's another guy that you're going to have to keep an eye on. Number 14, Zy Alexander, recovering from that ACL injury. He looks fresh. He looks like he's, you know, changing, and he's trusting his body after that recovery period. But that's going to be something you're going to have to look to. If he can't get going, you're going to have a guy like this and J.K. Johnson get back on the field. You're going to have Sage Ryan get implemented into that corner role as he might have not been expecting. Might have been. Who knows? But like I said, this defense really, it's not in a bad spot. You just got to improve. You got to get better. You got to understand it's going to be a work in progress. Will it be, you know, perfect and fine and dandy in week one? Probably not. There might be some issues. There might be some moments where your heart sinks. Guess what? It's football. We're going to have to get used to it. We're going to have to just learn to live with it. I don't think it'll be like last year at all, so I don't want to get you into that worry. But I do think that it might take some time. However, the LSU's offense, it's looking good. The offense is looking very good. Garrett Nussmeier has some tools. Not only in the running back room, not only that beautiful offensive line, but those wide receivers are getting active. Whether it be Kyron Lacy, Chris Hilton, C.J. Daniels, then you got pieces in the back end that you can really build for the future. I think the skill positions here, very, very good, in very good shape. Tight end room even. Let's not forget about these guys, whether it be Mason Taylor, Kamorian Pimpton, Jordez Green. You saw Mac Markaway getting some reps. They got a lot of weapons to utilize, and I think they're going to be able to handle it. We've got another practice video coming for you Wednesday. Guess what? Pads getting on. Helmets, pads, the whole rig up. You're out there on the field pretty much letting the hammer down. They're going to be full contact. You're going to get some interesting footage. So remember, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you do not miss any more LSU coverage. We'll be going to practice tomorrow. No cameras, no footage. We'll just be giving you a practice report. We'll probably go live and do that. So stay tuned tomorrow. No visual practice update. And then Wednesday, we're back with the camera getting the footage for you. Thank you for the support. Thank you for watching. We're going live Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Stay tuned. We will have a change in time in about 2-3 weeks just because school's starting. We're going to have to gel that school schedule in with that work schedule again, but we'll make it happen. Thanks for watching the Verdin Verdict. I'm your host, Jacob Verda. Y'all have a great day.